Hi everybody. You might encounter some problems where they ask you to solve a problem like this in two different ways. One way they might tell you to use a picture or a strip diagram, and another way might be to use a pan balance type of approach, which we'll try in a minute. Let's do the picture first. Let's do the strip. Okay. So Miss Jones gave a quarter of her money to charity. So right away I see that quarter, and I draw a strip of 4 blocks. And one block of the 4 is charity, right? That's the charity block. Then it says half of what was left. How much was left? This is what was left, right? The 3 blocks are what's left, but half of them went to mom. So there's 1, 2, 3 blocks. So 1.5 of those blocks goes to mom. And then what was left, that's 240. So the other 1.5 blocks is 240. They want to know how much money she had at first. So see if we can figure it out, guys. Let's see. Well, if half of the 3 blocks is 240, mom got half, the other half was 240. Mom also got 240, right? So this is also 240. 1.5 blocks is 240. The other 1.5 blocks is 240. So what are 3 blocks equal to? Those 3 blocks are equal to 240 times 2, right? Which is 480. Okay, so now we know that those 3 blocks are 480. Can we figure out how much each block is now? So if we have 480 bucks for 3 blocks, that's equal to 480 divided by 3. 480 divided by 3 is 160 per block. So guess what? That means each one of these blocks is 160, 160, 160, 160. So how much money at first? 4 times 160 equals, I think it's 640. So see, we figured that out by drawing a picture, kind of taking a step back, looking at it, and making our calculations. Now, what if they tell you to do this pan balance thing? Well, the first thing you want to do for a pan balance is you've got to come up with an algebraic expression. So let's see. She gave a quarter of her money to charity. So if we consider X the amount she had at first, okay, we're going to consider X the amount she had at first. So if she gave a quarter of it away, how much is left? 3/4 X is left, right? There's 3/4 X left. And half of it, we found out that half of that 3/4 X is equal to 240. Okay, so now we're going to try to use a pan balance to solve this thing to get X all by itself. So the first thing I would do is I draw like a kind of like a picture. Like here's a square, and it's 3/4 X, but it's only half of it, right? Half of 3/4 X is equal to 240. So I'll make this big block to represent 240. Okay. But we don't want half. What if we double this side? If we double this so we just get 3/4 X, what happens over there? You got to double that. So that's like double times 240. 240 times 2 is 480. So now we have this block that represents 3/4 X. So we have a big 480 on one side, the other side. Okay, 3/4. Now what if we did 4 of these over here? If we multiply this side by 4, or add it on, we have to multiply that side by 4 also, right? So if I multiply that side by 4, I'm going to come up here, you're just going to get a 3x over there. And then 480 times, what's 480 times 4? I think it's 1920. So now we have 3 x's on that side and a whopping 1920 on the other side. What if we just want to figure out 1x? What would we do? We would divide both sides by 3, right? So to get x by itself, we would do 1920 divided by 3 to keep the thing balanced, right? And 1920 divided by 3, thank God, is also 640. Okay, so it's kind of like what you learned in algebra. Like if you do one side of the equal sign, you got to do the other. It's the same thing with a pan balance. If you put 3 times as much on one side, you got to put 3 times as much on the other. Or if you only take a third on one side, you have to only take a third on the other. That's the whole concept of the pan balance. It's not a really big deal. So I hope that helps with any problems you might encounter.